Shalom Aleichem. Chaim Malevsky here, live in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, on a beautiful summer day. Parshat Vaetchanan. We talk about a mitzvah. It's bigger than gratitude and changes your life. Honor your father and mother so that your days will be long. It's biblical. We've heard it before. We've read it many times. But let's be honest, some of us have a problem with it. What if they weren't so honorable? What if they weren't around? What if you gave them more than they gave you? Why does the Torah make such a big deal about this mitzvah and promise the ultimate reward in this world of long life and blessings? And here's another big question. Why is this commandment in the wrong place? The 10 Commandments are split into two. Between God and man, or man and God, and between man and man. Honor your parents is carved on God's side of the tablets. Right next to, I am God your God. Don't have any other idols. Keep the Shabbos holy. Honor your parents. Seriously? Perhaps it should be next to, don't steal, don't kill, and do everything right socially. So, I've heard it said, there's a lot of people here in real estate, location, location, location. So the placement itself is part of the message of honoring our parents. Because honoring your parents is not about what they did or what they did for you. It's more about who they are and what they are. And they are God's partners. Honoring your parents is not just about gratitude. It's about godliness. It's not because they raised you. It's because God handpicked them to bring your soul into this world. So they're partners with God in creation. And amazing, beautiful proof about this, that our honoring our parents is not about the gratitude for what they've done for us. Because the first time the mitzvah of honoring your parents appears in the Torah is not at the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai. It's actually in a place called Mara, where the Jewish people arrived a few weeks or days after they left Egypt. It was in the desert. Now, what's interesting about that is that God says in Mara, Jewish people, you have a mitzvah, an eternal mitzvah, to honor your parents. Now, at Mara, what did the parents do for the Jewish people? Food? Did they give them food? No. They got the food from heaven, the manna from heaven. Water? They got that from a rock. Security? They got that from the cloud, from the clouds of glory. Even the homes, some say were miraculous homes from those same clouds. So the Jews lived a completely miraculous life, sustained by God Almighty alone. No parents were needed. And that's where God said, honor your parents. Proving that it's not about gratitude. It's not about what your parents have done for you, but it's about holiness. I'm not saying it's easy, but we're saying it's a mitzvah. God chose them to be His co-creators, to create you. And the Torah teaches also, and the Rebbe talks about this, that to truly honor God, the one who creates and sustains life, everything, we need to first honor our parents, those who created us. Those mitzvahs are linked. And our Rebbe demonstrated that, and many more, in his own beautiful way. Rabbi Chitrik, Tzvi Hirsch Chitrik, relates a story. He once went to visit the Rebbe's mother. Her name was, we call her Rebbetzin Chana. Schneerson. At the time, the Rebbe was there. So the Rebbe, the busiest man in the world, who answered thousands of letters a day, literally received and answered whatever he could, he would make it a point to visit his mother every single day. Weekday, holiday, Shabbat, no matter what. The Rebbe was there to visit her. So Rabbi Chitrik relates that one time he was there when the Rebbe was visiting. And the Rebbe was on his way out. And as he walked out, strangely, he started adjusting frames on the wall, moving chairs, and putting things around the table. What's going on here? It just looked like a funny way to leave. And not that everything really needed the Rebbe's help to do all that. So when the Rebbe left, the Rebbitzin, the Rebbe's mother, Rebbitzin Chana, said to Rabbi Chitrik, he said, "You look perplexed about how my son, the Rebbe, is walking out. You should know that since his bar mitzvah, he never turned his back to me. He never turned his back to me. Whenever he walks out, he finds something to do on the way out, to walk out backwards. Since his bar mitzvah, he never turned his back to his mother." Whoa! I'm sure there are many great stories that you can think of, how you honor your parents in the most respectful way. But the Torah teaches us that, and the Rebbe exemplified it, that honoring our parents is really not about the people who they are, but it's about the Shekhinah, God's presence inside of them. Because they represent God's presence, the Creator, and they created us. So we speak with them in reverence. The Torah says you can't call your parents by their name. Care for them as you can. You can't sit in their seats, etc., etc. What if your parents are already passed? They're gone in this world. They're already in the next world. Is the mitzvah over? Am I free? Says the Torah. No. We still honor them. We say Kaddish. We do mitzvahs in their merit. We live their values and we tell their stories. We're still fulfilling the mitzvah of rising before God, before the Shekhinah, when we honor our parents, even after they're gone. And the Torah promises that our days will be lengthened in the next world and in this world. And our lives will be better in this world than had we not cared for our parents. Because this mitzvah of honoring your parents adds joy, dignity, and meaning, and adds years to someone else's life. So God Almighty does that to you too. So the truth is that the mitzvah is not a rational mitzvah. It's a divine commandment. And it appears on God's side of the tablets, not by mistake, but by message. Because we don't honor our parents for what they've done. We honor them for who they represent. And this honor can bring us all into the great honor when we all honor our parents, when we all honor God Almighty the way we're meant to. And God will bring the eternal long life that He promises. Not just a personal long life, but collectively the long life of the world with the coming of Mashiach. Speedily in our days. Tonight is the 15th day of Av. Tisha B'Av was the saddest day in the calendar. The 15th day of Av is a very happy day. The Talmud says it was the happiest day ever, where people would get engaged and betrothed. And boys and girls would run out into fields and find each other. And it was a great day of joy. We need to find our God in heaven, and He needs to marry us once again and bring Mashiach. And thank you again, Rabbi Shneur Ashkenazi, for these beautiful teachings. I have a whole collection of them from which I draw, and it keeps on bringing more and more great inspiration to the Jewish people. God bless you. God bless us everywhere. Take care.